Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining us. I'm Raisa Lopez from Channel Sales and Marketing at IIG. We are very excited to have you with us as we present our equipment ROI tracking module for Acumatica. We want to make sure that you get the most out of this session, so we really want to encourage you to type your questions in. The question box on the top right should be at the top right of your screen, and we will address them at the end of the call. Okay, before we get started, just wanted to share a little bit about us in case we haven't worked together before. We have over 30 years of experience with ERP and with ISV modules. We have successfully developed 17 enhancements for Acumatica, 10 of which are certified and on the Acumatica price list. Two of our modules were acquired by Acumatica, that's Acumatica's POS and AcuGmail. We are also partnered with over 100 different Acumatica VARs worldwide, and we support over 1,000 customers with our modules and also with custom programming. And we are a Gold Acumatica partner. We want to welcome you to check out our website where you can find the latest information on all of our enhancements, as well as reviews from our partners and customers. Okay, with that being said, I will pass you over to Alec for the presentation.
Thank you, Risa. Okay, so I believe you're able to see my screen. My apologies for the hiccup. So basically, we published an enhancement which gives you the ability to track your return on investment for a piece of equipment. So we will show you what you paid for that equipment when you purchased it, as well as what revenue you've generated. If it's a rental revenue, if you sold it, what was the selling price? But for it, we'll also track for you the direct expenses that you've incurred. Accounts payable bills, what you paid for it, service appointments, if you're using the field service module to do appointments and service order for it, whether it's billable or non-billable, scheduled services, if you have the AccuRental and you've set up the scheduled services to be performed once a year, do this. Repair, if you have our work order module. So this would be tracked as direct expenses. Then we also let you track for that piece of equipment what we call resource revenue and expense. So if it's a crane that you're using to take AC units out, or if it's a welding machine that you use to bill for welding services that you provide for companies, you can track this. So we have integrations from the project, sales order, service modules to track both revenue and expenses that you may generate for that equipment. So this is a typical setting. These are all the places that we interface with the equipment ROI enhancement from PO, receipt when you receive an item, inventory receipt when you receive an item, or a kit assembly, we're assembling a product. If you have the rental module, if you have a rental revenue, or if you set up the rental module to post cost, or if you sales module when you sold it or you're using it as a resource equipment, again, to bill for a service like welding. Accounts payable module, if you're doing a bill and adjustment, maybe a calibration or a maintenance expense, we'll let you post to it. Project transactions, when you enter a project transaction in the project module of Acumatica, we'll let you tell us whether you want to post to that equipment as a resource or a direct revenue and cost. Field service module, the same way, you could tell us whether you have expenses for repairing it or you have revenue and expenses for using that piece of equipment for like a welding machine and so forth. Scheduled services, as you do an issue product from the inventory issue module, we'll post to that equipment ROI record, and of course our repair module. So basically you have a screen to create all your equipment cost codes. So as you're entering an invoice for AP for an expense, you'll be able to specify, is it a tire expense, is it a brake expense, is it an engine overall, and we allow you to enter for the different points in Acumatica that we interface with the equipment ROI, what are the default equipment cost codes in the system. Now, these default values are then copied to the stock item. So you tell us for each stock item, if you use it in AP, if you use it in IM, if you use it in the field service, what should be the cost and revenue code for it to be used, both for resource revenue or receiving cost and so forth. Notice that you also let you specify when you're receiving an item, serialized item in the system, that you want the system to generate the equipment ROI record for you. One of the things we do as part of the equipment ROI enhancement is that we allow you to track repairs that you do for your customers. So if a customer calls, you'll be able to let them know how much they've spent with you repairing an expense. Or if you're manufacturing an item and you're selling it and you're providing a warranty and you do not have Acumatica's field service with the equipment module, we will create the equipment record for you. You'll be able to perform those repairs and see the profit. So if you're looking at an equipment ROI number, in this case, we're looking at the ROI equipment screen. We're looking at the equipment 11. Notice that at the very high level, you will see what you paid for it. What are all the costs that you've incurred maintaining it? What's the revenue you've generated if you're a rental or sales, and the net of those. And the top section, you will see that. Then you'll see by equipment cost code for the period and if year to date and lifetime of the equipment, your different postings to it from different cost codes, AP, inventory, sales orders, and so forth. And as you click on any one of these lines, then it brings you here to this screen where it allows you to enter the year. So you see the expenses that you incurred for that CNC machine, for that truck, for that crane, year by year, both as an actual cost and actual revenue, and a resource revenue and a resource cost. And of course, as you click on any one of these lines, or you click on equipment transaction detail, we show you the AP transactions, or the sales order, service order transaction, and let you drill down to the transaction and see the transaction itself. So I have complete visibility for a piece of crane, for a truck that you're using in the office, to deliver things, what you're experiencing, and what expenses you're incurring. This is the AP bills and adjustment screen. So we add that screen, that field here, equipment ROI numbers. So you'll enter it at the header. That gets loaded at the line item, but you can change it and enter the cost code. So that cost would get posted to that equipment under that. So you could have things like tire, brake, engine repair, or travel expense if you have to go somewhere to repair that unit, would post to that equipment. So that's a typical, a lot of people use it to see the different expenses that they're incurring, what equipment it's for. Uh, in the project module, by project task, we let you tell us for this task, which is the equipment that you want to post to ROI records for, and you want to post an actual cost, resource cost, and revenue, or actual cost and revenue. And what it does when you set up this drill down and that equipment number at the project task entry, then as you're entering PM transactions, we will show you that equipment number. We will show you what you've set up for the task. You'll be modified and be able to modify the entries here for the cost codes, and we'll take that amount and we'll post it. So if it's a tractor that you're using for a task to generate some revenue digging or something, you'll be able to know for that piece of equipment how much revenue you were able to generate as a resource revenue for it. So similarly, we bring this concept to the service order. So if you're doing a service order, you can enter the equipment number, and then at the line item level, we let you change it. If you want to change it, we show you the cost codes specific to that, and then you'll be able to, from the cost. If it is an equipment that you're just repairing your own equipment, you'll obviously will only post cost. We have Logix builds that if it's not a billable, it's a free item, then it goes to as a cost. But otherwise, if it's a welding machine, again, that you're using or a crane that an electrician is using to repair a light pole or something, you'll be able to basically post that as a revenue expense. Then, of course, again, similarly at the sales order, we should let you enter an ROI code, and that ROI code basically can be changed at the line item level. So if you have different sales order lines that you're using as motorized wheelchair or something to generate revenue for services, or the AC, or this here in this example, a delivery charge, maybe using that truck. And of course, again, that entry is available at the line item level to be modified. So we give you a level of, ability to basically see the activity that you have. So I'm going to show you some of the programs. So this is again where you set up your equipment cost codes. You can have as many of them as you want entered here. And again, as you're entering an AP bill, you'll be able to tell the system that that AP bill at the header level, you enter the equipment ROI number here, and the AP. Of course, you could change it as we talked about. You could put in tire, you could put in AP maintenance, you can put in outside repair, anything you want. And as you remove and release this transaction, this $1,580 would get posted to the equipment ROI number for us. Let's see what the issue with this line is. So we made it be such that it works independent of other modules, like, so you'll be able to. So if I go to my equipment ROI number and I bring up that equipment and I look at the history and this tab, I would see that maintenance posted here. If I select it, then I'll be able to go see the information and drill down and see the, any information that we posted. And in this example, whatever this transaction is, we posted to calibration and travel. But again, this information gets rolled up to the ROI record. So the same concept as I said, we talked about, but when we have the equipment ROI module, we show you information year by year. So, and of course, you see any expenses, we let you just kind of drill down as we talked about. But we basically show you general information on it. Is it owned by you, or what branch it's located? If it's a stock item, is it an inventory item and a serial number, the equipment cost information. If it's entered on projects, we'll show you what project is being used on. And as I mentioned, we have our work order module that would let you, if there's need to do a repair on it, create a repair on it, and the labor material used as part of that repair would basically roll up to the project. So, some obviously some of these things where what happens with when integrated with field service or a work order or project, you need to own those modules. But our equipment ROI would work with them. If you have the field service module, then from the field service entry, you'll be able to, and a service order, enter the equipment number, which will bring you to the line item level. Will let you tell us again, for this entry, do you just do not want to post to the equipment ROI? You want to use it as a resource, or you want to post it as a direct cost. So it varies. The different we give you the ability to make these decisions, and whether it's a project transaction where we let you give you more options, again, resource, or uh, the line item level, you can tell it the equipment it is, what type of postings you want to make to the ROI modules. That's an actual cost, resource cost, or actual and resource cost, or resource and revenue. And then this becomes available, these fields become available, that you could change them and select the cost code that you want. And again, the information gets rolled into the project module for you. Uh, Now, if you have the rental module, then on the line item, as you have a rental item, it would bring it to the equipment ROI as a rental revenue. So we wanted to make it as flexible as possible. So we made it such that wherever it made sense, we asked you what action you want to take. For example, as I mentioned, project transactions, or service orders. But in other places like AP, we just post it as an expense, and we just ask you to give us to enter the cost code that should be used for it. At the header, we let you enter the equipment number, but if the line items are different, line items should be posted to different expense codes with it. And of course, if you have our repair module, similarly the same way, you enter the equipment module. So the equipment number becomes available, and we let you do a repair for it. You enter the cost code. Are you doing a repair on the engine? Are you doing a repair on the transmission and so forth? Of course, if you have our repair module, then we let you basically tell us whether it's a billable return. In other words, the line, the labor and material entered, you want to load it into the sales order, invoice the customer. It's a non-billable repair for your own truck, your own things, and you just want to move this information to the uh, to the to the equipment ROI record as a cost. So pretty flexible module, easy to use. We put dashboards together, so you'll even be able to see some of the information rolled up in a dashboard format. So you see your ROI expenses. You can put in an item or an item class, financial period, or all periods. See the ROI equipment expenses, the revenues, the profit, and you see the amount posted and drilled down to the information that you want, and see more detail about it. We're very excited about having this product. And on the roadmap is integration with the fixed asset module. So we'll show you all the depreciation for that equipment if it's also in the fixed asset module. So you'll have visibility over. So it solves the issue with some construction companies knowing on a piece of equipment whether it justifies the repairs and expenses and the revenues from the rental, or using it on a project as an equipment to do the digging or drilling or whatever. So um, they're all ears to if you have suggestions on how to further improve it. But it's getting good. We're getting good reaction from the folks that are seeing. Thank you for the opportunity. It's a very straightforward enhancement. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to us, and we gladly will talk with you about what it's done. We've done things with it for others on piece of equipment on the rental side to determine what's the return on it. Is it costing too much to keep the item, the revenue versus the expenses, and decide whether you want to sell few of them or keep them, or that unit is problematic, is having too much problem. Raisa, that's all I wanted to cover for the enhancement. If there's any questions, I can answer.
Okay, perfect. Thank you, Alec. And we don't have any questions in here, but this recording of this session will be emailed to you, and as well as contact information. If you do think of any questions, and if you need any pricing or marketing support, we can help you with that. So thank you again for your time, and we'll let you get back to your day. Bye.
Thank you.